Do you think that there are certain essential components of software development that are unlikely to be offloaded onto generative models that still require the kind of human cultivation that
Yeah,
might become still scarce or undesirable by people to adopt?
yeah, that's a really good question, and I wish I had an amazing answer to that. It would be nice to know the answer to that. I mean, you mentioned one thing that was interesting when you were talking about how you use it, which is like as part of like the planning process. Like planning is like or like the design process, right? Is the thing what you said? Setting up the architecture or whatever. That's a higher level skill as an engineer than just actually like implementing a function. And the way it's reflected in organizations is often more senior engineers are doing that compared to junior engineers. Um, I mean, AI is starting to do it, which is interesting. And maybe as future models come out, it'll do that even better and better and better. But I would say things like in that domain at this point feel difficult and scarce and unlikely to be done by AI. Like deciding what to build in the first place, right? Um, and even planning, right? I'm sure you didn't completely delegate the design or designing. You didn't delegate the design completely to AI, like you were involved, just helped you. But I think those types of higher level tasks, um, I think are going to take longer.
Yeah, there's something that I felt after like the first maybe 2 or 3 years of going of just like writing code all day, that I realized that I was taking things very literally. And I think I think my mind is already kind of like prone to taking things very literally. Um, and I found it increasingly difficult to just be living in like the ambiguity of just the gray area, right? Like I remember my ex-girlfriend she'd ask me like, can you pass the cup? Yeah, of course I can. Oh, you want the cup? Oh, I didn't. It took me an extra few steps to recognize that she also wanted it. She didn't just ask whether I could, right? But when you are programming all day long, this is very clear. This is the expected behavior, right? The expected behavior is a yes or no. Um, I wonder whether that will persist. Like whether like getting more people to start writing code, does that still mean that they have to reason in an extremely meticulous, oftentimes sort of like um, still algorithmic kind of way, and whether those tools will simply help to augment the algorithmicizing of their thinking, or whether we will be able to contend with living in that purely vague and ambiguous space and just perhaps pulling out intuitions and desires more clearly.
Yeah. Well, how do I mean? No, just turn that question back to you. Like, how do you feel using ChatGPT and these tools right now? Like, do you feel like you're spending a smaller fraction of your time in like the logic space of your brain compared to the like intuition space?
I feel like the logic has just shifted away from the programming and into the prompting.
To the prompting, fair.